Welcome to Conversation Plug, where every chat unites new ideas and perspectives. Plug in and join the conversation.
So let's talk about this. I was on Amazon and I wanted to order some AirTags to put in like my suitcases when we travel, etc. And I saw like AirTag holders, and one of them was like bracelets, like necklaces and stuff. A lot of them for kids. So I was like, would you ever put an AirTag on your kid?
No,
No.
I don't think I would put an AirTag on my child only because I'm not sure the security or the accuracy. Not necessarily the accuracy, but like how much they could fail. But what's the point?
I mean, in reality, yes. In a perfect world, you always know where your child is. Yes. But let's say they're riding the bus home from school. It's the first day of school. It's a new bus driver, a new bus route, etc. And your child gets on the wrong bus. And let's say the child gets off on like the first stop or second stop or whatever stop it is, they get off on the wrong stop and they realize they're not in the right neighborhood. You know, kids do things sometimes. And you're just like, why did you do that? But it's fine. Then what? You're an
Well,
elementary.
a little bit of the issue is that you're like, oh, well, it'll alert you. It won't. And if you realize too late that your child's already missing, then I mean, if something bad had happened, something bad has already happened. It's not like you're going to be watching the AirTag, or it's not like, the AirTag alerts you. Now, if this was an alert system, like your child is going without this, I mean, it's gone out of this 100-meter radius or whatever, that's a little bit different, then maybe. But I mean, who says you check it? You're at work. You don't get off till 5. You know your kid comes home at 3:30. You aren't necessarily thinking, oh, let me check their AirTags, make sure they're here. They're out. And like, yeah, you could go find them with the AirTag, but they've been gone for 2 hours wandering. If something bad was gonna happen, something bad happened. And now you're already 2 hours behind, and maybe you can go find them. But if this is a peace of mind thing, then I think you should get something that can alert you or that they can communicate with you. Like if they get lost, it's a panic button they can push. If they get scared, there's some way that they can contact you. It's not just, oh, I hope my mom checks me now because I don't know where I'm at, you know?
Well, that's not the intention necessarily. Because number one, if it is an elementary school kid, because that's the one that's probably more likely to get lost or a bit younger, you
Right.
have to have someone waiting for them to get off the bus, either at home, either at the bus stop. Like somebody has to be there to get the child. So if
Really?
that bus rolls around, yeah,
That's not
really.
true. That's not true.
Sometimes if they're under a certain age, somebody has to be there to get the child, yes. But maybe after like let's say second, third grade, you can go home by yourself. But your 6-year-old, 7-year olds home by themselves. Is there someone waiting at home for them? You would hope.
But I don't think that there's an age limit. I mean, I think there should be, but I don't think there's an
Legally,
age
you're
limit.
not supposed to leave a child 6 or 7 by the home by themselves anyway. So you
No,
like
no, no,
let's
no.
say
I mean, getting them off the bus.
regardless, even if you're at home, you're waiting for that child to come home at 3:20, whatever time. They should be
Yeah,
walking
you
through that
should
door
be.
coming up the street because they're in
Right.
elementary school. You wait for them to come home. So if 3:20 rolls around, it's now 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. You're like, where's the child? Even if you go up to the school and they're not there, now you have the air tag. Be like, okay, then where are they? Or you can just check the air tag if it's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and they're still not there. You can see where the child is.
I'm not saying that I don't see the beauty of having the AirTag with the child. I just don't think that would be my go-to because I think I said earlier, I wouldn't even allow my child to ride the bus. I don't think the bus system is that great, quote, period. Now, I get you got to do what you got to do 100%. Like, I'm not trying to shame that. But I wouldn't do a bus system. I didn't ride the bus. People picked me up, and that's just how I was raised. So I probably do that at least throughout all of elementary, if not all of elementary and middle school. And I would do my schedule to be able to do that, or have my partner do their schedule to be able to do that.
But you have that luxury. Not everybody does. Sometimes you try to be the right bus.
Absolutely. But the question wasn't, do I think people should put their AirTags on children? The question was, do I think I need to put an AirTag on my child? And the answer is no, because I will make that sacrifice. I will do that extra mile. They will have that luxury because I can do that. Now, should people put their AirTag on children if they feel like that's something they need to do, if that's a peace of mind for them? There's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely. I don't think that there's a negative side of it unless, you have just a nosy kid and they start taking it out and giving it to their friends. I don't see any negative, but my child, I will make that sacrifice to be able to not have to do that.
Let's say that sacrifice isn't possible and your child has to ride the bus. Are you putting the AirTag on the child?
No.
You just gonna go without it then? If they have to ride the bus, do you just have nothing?
If they have to ride the bus, there will be somebody there at the bus stop every day.
Yes, even with the AirTag, someone should be at the bus stop every day. They're gonna be at the bus stop. But at least if you have an AirTag and they don't show up at that bus stop that you're waiting for them at, you know where their child is.
I see it. I see it. I just don't think that would be my go-to. I completely understand it and see it, but I don't think that that would be my train of thought. It would probably be we would do the route a couple times. I would make sure they know what bus is going on. I'd probably be like super in contact with the school. I would take those measures first before I go, oh yeah, and I need to put an air tag on. We would I would go so invested. If a bus is what I have to do, then I would probably do the investment of them just being present, then immediately go into an air tag. I wouldn't think of an air tag at all. Because I recently just got an air tag. And I would never think to get an air tag put on a kid.
I mean, I don't even have an AirTag. I was looking at them to get on my luggage. I didn't either. But it made me think when I saw those bracelets that like, hey, that's kind of clever. I'd probably do it.
I don't think I'd get to that. Unless my partner, whoever I'm with, was like, yeah, I want to put an air tag on them just in case we live in a crazy world. Or if maybe I'd go to it if I didn't know the area. Like if it's a place I had not grown up in and had not, or we like just moved to a place, that's a bit different maybe because they're gonna get lost and I will get lost and now we both lost and now we both keep on each other. But born and raised in a place, I don't know.
What does being born and raised in a place have to do with someone might kidnap your child or they get off on the wrong stop or something? Like, what does that have to do with you being knowing the place?
Because I feel like if you're born and raised in a town and you were integrated within that community, everybody pretty much knows everybody. So if you see my kid wandering around, you know exactly what little and I mean, I'm not sure how bus routes work 100%, but I feel like they are all somewhat in the same neighborhoods. I feel like it's somewhat in the same area. This my thing would be if I'm in a complete place where I have no clue where even I'm going and I have to use the GPS, it's gonna be twice harder for me to find you. Versus if I know exactly where I am and kind of relatively where everything is, I can maybe even just guesstimate where you were left off at maybe. I
You
don't
don't know what bus the child got on. The child got on the wrong bus. There's nowhere for the school to know what bus the child got on. And
know.
there's nothing to do with whether you know the town or not. The bus
Well,
to be
I
taking
still
is supposed to be taking her to the east side, but now she's on the west side.
yeah, that's true. That's very true.
I can know the town like the back of my hand. Doesn't mean my child lives, and even then, like that's not going to tell me anything.
That's true. I just don't think I'd immediately go to an air tag. It just would not be my first thought. It would be, "You trade for this, we're gonna do this, you're gonna go to school."
It's not your first thought. Now that we talked about it, and now that like it's an option on the table, like oh, you realize like yeah, I could do this. Would you do it now that we have talked about it?
Probably still not. I mean,
Interesting.
probably still not.
You still feel the need for it then?
No. I mean, I see the need and I get the need, and maybe when I pop out kids and they become my if I pop out kids and they become my entire world, or just if I have kids pull up here and they become my entire world, it'd be a different mindset. I don't think that that would be my it's just not something I would do. Like, but it's interesting that it's not something I do, but I do a leash on my child. But it's not like a leash, it's like a backpack they wear.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do that, which is interesting.
I feel as though the only time I'd actually use that is if we went to like maybe like Disney World or something, where there's crowds and crowds of people walking all the time, bumping into you or whatever. Like it's easy to kind of get lost in the crowd. And kids like to run off all the time.
True.
And they run faster than you sometimes. Don't know how, little legs, but they do. And then like I feel like in that circumstance, yes, but just for day to day walking to around the grocery store.
No, I wouldn't use it around the grocery store. But like I hope to be in a place where there's a park and that you can walk a lot more than you can drive places, I would probably use a leash there. Kids just dart out into the road because they're morons, just cause. And while I don't want to yank you back like you're the dog, but if you want to run after a car like you're one, I can go ahead and bring you back here. In 9 months to make that. I'm not to let you dart out. If we're walking around out in public, it would either be on me just in case it got busy, or it would be on that child. Disney World, oh yeah, I'd probably have 4 of them. I'd have one on each ankle just in case. But it's very interesting that I don't immediately go to an AirTag, but I do immediately go to, I would get a leash. And it's not a leash. I don't know what they're like technically speaking called, but like one girl I watch on social media, she calls it wings because they're like butterfly wings, but it's a backpack.
Yeah.
She's like, I put on them. Yeah, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I would too. Like I said, I wouldn't do it every day, just like what you were saying, but I would Disney World for me, yes.
I mean, placement. Where are you putting the AirTag on the kid anyway?
Well, the ones I saw were like bracelets and stuff. And yes, I see the problem with that because the kids could just take it off, be like, hey, Timmy, look at this. And then like bada bing, bada boom, Timmy has it now. I know. But but in that circumstance, I would think of something clever, like maybe sew a little pocket into the shoe where you just slide it in there and the kid doesn't even know it's there. A bracelet that the kid probably cannot take off. I'm sure they make bracelets like
I
that.
see it. Truly, I mean, in adults they call it infinity bracelets, but you like weld those onto
I
your
mean,
wrist
well,
or
like
whatever.
even if it has
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
yeah,
little
yeah. I
key
know.
lock on it, then I gotta unlock to take it off every day once I get home or something.
Mm. Like I said, maybe once the kid's in my possession and like they become my entire world, maybe. Uh, I'll decide like, yeah, I need to put an AirTag. I need to know where you are 24/7. I just kind of I get it's a different time, and maybe that's why I shouldn't be so nonchalant about it because it is a very different time than when we grew up. Like, I didn't get an AirTag. I mean, I had cousins who got lost on the bus, but like you went through the proper channels and you found them. Now I understand that the proper channels sometimes can mess you up yourself, and then equally sometimes you just don't know where your child is. But unfortunately, you equally have to think if someone's going to take your kid, while they may not know that you have an AirTag on the kid, if they truly want to take your kid, they're going to take your kid. And eventually they'll figure out this person's tracking me somehow. And they're going to get it away from the kid if they're that definitive about it. And I mean, equally, you go back to the fact that you're like, unless you're going to check this AirTag 3:30 every single time your kid goes home or something like that, you could get busy and just not realize it. You have to, like I said, if there was a system where you could alert, like your kid, then maybe I'd gravitate towards that because I would like my child to be like, I'm lost. Beep, beep, beep. I need a mom. I need a parent, a guardian, a legal person, or like something that like they can push or something like that, and it calls the police. Now that's called a phone, but you shouldn't. I don't think you should give a 7-year-old a phone by any
Exactly.
means. But
Yes, but
just
one
an
thing like it's gonna
AirTag.
be
I mean,
super.
well, I was trying to think because I mean, my I know that thing malfunctioned. I have an AirTag in my wallet, and it tells me all the time it can't find it. I'm like, it's in my hand, brother. It's you. What do you mean you can't find it? It's like I can't find the AirTag. The AirTag's lost. It was at this last location. I'm like, that last location was 2 hours ago. It's beside you. And I mean, like, eventually it catches up. Like I had to refresh my app a couple times and like it catches up. But I mean, that could be a false start. Your AirTag could be giving you wrong information. It's technology. It can malfunction just as easily as anything else.
Like, yeah, I'm
It's
still
just
gonna
one of the
call the
backup.
school and figure all the other stuff, but like in case the school is useless to me, at least the AirTag I can kind of refresh my app if I have to
Maybe.
and go back and kind of find the kid.
Unless it tells you your kid beside you, you turn around, they're not there.
Okay, well then that sucks. But like we're still gonna have to find the child regardless. At least I
Yes,
try.
that's
At
what
least
I'm
I have some
saying.
type of backup plan that was at least somewhat possible.
I'm sure there's something out there. I mean, hey, get a life alert. If you're gonna put something on a kid, put life alert on them. I would do life alert. Life alert, does that call you? I think it calls you. I can't remember how
I
life
thought it
alert
calls
works.
the police. But okay. Well, at least the
But like,
ambulance or
how do they
something.
know where you are? I thought they called you.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some type of like cellular connection in it where it
Because like, what if you accidentally bump it?
I think I'm pretty sure either you have like a speaker like an Alexa or something in the house. It's like I'm not saying the Alexa actually. I'm saying like you have a speaker that's connected to the life alert, and maybe they're just like, "Hey, you pushed your life alert. Can I help you with something?" But I'm sure it works some way. But I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
think
that's
if
like
that's
the
the case,
ambulance or like the 911 operator that answers.
okay, that's what the kid needs. You are lost. Go hug a police officer.
You know how many times kids panic and push that for no absolute reason? What if we're just over here pushing life alert for fun? What if they're at
Being,
school and they lost their lunch money over here pushing life alert?
I mean,
Like
oh,
me personally, I panic when I lost my lunch money too. And I'd be like, oh shoot, emergency, no lunch, no money, push button, help. Now you got to keep calling police all the time. Why are you pushing life alert?
but you need anxiety to get it from their parents.
Well, you should go take them to therapy and get some medication. Nothing's wrong with therapy.
Generational anxiety. I'm passing down. You want some generational wealth? No, I have generational anxiety. I'm sure there's some there's benefits or the kid can have something for them. I'd go that route. I need to be alerted.
Because kids have different emergencies. What is an emergency to a kid versus an adult? It's two different things. Kids panic over small things because like that's their world. That's all they know. They don't have big problems like money and bills and stuff. Their problem is they just missed their show that came up. Well, it's a different
Nobody,
day. I
well,
would say the problem is that they missed the show and didn't turn on 8 p.m. They missed the new episode. But you know what? They don't have the problem. No,
where's your child at 8 p.m.?
they could have been. I didn't say they weren't home. They could have been out playing outside. I forgot to come inside and watch TV. Watch their show at 8
Then
o'clock.
why aren't you out there with them?
They're in the backyard. I can see them through the window.
We're sure told to come inside for their show.
I wasn't paying attention. My fault. I'm over here doing
But
dishes
you,
and
you aren't
laundry.
paying
My
attention.
fault.
Wow. So you aren't checking their AirTag as well.
You're extra. That's irrelevant. Whatever.
I have said it before. I would think about it. It would probably honestly though, like I would think about it now, but in practicality, my partner would have to bring it up. They'd be like, I think you need an air tag on the kid. And I'd be like, oh, sure. That's what makes you better. Sure. Let's go for it. But I just wouldn't think about it.
Fair enough. At least we know we're not using life alert. But agree to disagree.
I think life alert, well, it is, it's pushable, but like something has to be able to alert the kid, not me. Because I mean, I just
You
want
be
to think.
alerted when the child's not home.
Yeah, but like, let's say they took your child at 2 p.m. The child gets out at 4. You weren't gonna check it at 2. You checked it at 4 and told you the last known location was
This
the
is
school.
true. This is true. But hopefully the AirTag is still on the child. It's better than nothing. It is better than nothing.
It's better than our hope and a prayer, sure.
There you go. Anyway, nice conversation. Hope you guys all enjoyed this conversation. Comment down below what you guys think about this conversation. I want to see your input.
Moral of the story is check your socks, kids, because it's probably an AirTag.